It's not working. It's really not working today. Okay. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hola a todos, bienvenidos a mi kanal. أهلا يا جماعة، أهلا بكم في قناتي. Herkese merhabalar, kanalıma hoş geldiniz. As promised, today we're going to be talking about how to learn a language from scratch from the very beginning. But before that, I'd like to highlight something very important, that my languages are far from perfect. Yes, I speak 4 languages, but I make a lot of mistakes all the time. And we make mistakes all the time, even in our native language, and that's okay. So first thing first, what I highly recommend that you do with a foreign language, or when you start to learn a language from scratch, that you get used to it. What I mean by that, it's like knowing someone before getting married, if that makes sense. Same thing with a language. You need to get used to the language. You need to get familiar with the language, and most importantly, get your ears familiar with the language and immerse yourself more. So, and that could be by watching a movie in that target language, or watching a TV show, or maybe listening to a podcast. And if you're gonna watch a movie, I highly recommend as well that you look at their mouth, how they speak and how they move their tongue, because you want to speak like that. You want to move your mouth like that. So first of all, getting used to the language, getting familiar with the language, and getting comfortable with the language. Then, or what I basically do, that I start with simple words and sentences. For example, how old are you? How was your day? How are you feeling today, for example? Alrighty, so my second tip for you today to learn a language from scratch is that you go ahead and start speaking it. Of course, after getting used to it and learning words in small sentences, you should go ahead and actually start speaking it with native speakers. And I know it could be really intimidating and scary at first, especially if you're shy or an introverted person, but it will get better. And if you're not like you don't want to do it, especially now, that's okay. You can start with ChatGPT, for example, or any applications like that. The most important thing that you start speaking it. You can speak to yourself in your room, or I don't know, at work or something. But most importantly, that you get out of your comfort zone and you start speaking it. Personally, what I prefer that speaking it with native speakers, and sometimes I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I actually doing this to myself? Like, I don't understand anything. They speak really fast. They use slang words. How can I say what you do for a living in that language? I know, I've been there, and that's okay. But with time and practice, and maybe you can ask them, like, for example, could you tell me how can I say this in my target language? For example, in Spanish. And they will be, I don't know, writing it in the chat or telling you in English, in any other language. The most important thing that you ask how you can say this, or you can translate something, right? Okay, tip number 3, do not overthink grammar. Again, do not overthink grammar. It's impossible understand all the grammar all at once at first. And you're gonna get bored because it depends on each and every language, but their conjugations, their suffixes, their things, that it's complicated at first. So, and think of your mother tongue, do you speak it in a natural way, or do you have to think, should I conjugate it like that? Should I put the verb at the end of the sentence? Or do you speak it in a very natural way because it's your mother tongue? And that's what we need to have. We need to have this fluency. Tip number 4, like anything in the world, be consistent. Be consistent, practice daily. If you cannot daily, at least practice with yourself, immerse yourself in the language, try to speak it constantly. I'm not gonna say every day, because sometimes you work, you have your own life gets in the way sometimes. That's okay, I totally understand. But please try to make it part of your daily life. So try to speak it, and you're gonna pick on the language really fast. Well, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like it, and please let me know in the comments what kind of videos you want me to make in the future. And if you're having like any problems or something you're dealing with while learning a foreign language, we can talk about this as well. And please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me and motivates me to make more videos. And thanks so much. I will see you on the next one. Bye.